David Moyes reveals Patrick van Aanholt was withdrawn from the game against Tottenham on medical advice after a heart scan. Welcome to Sky Sports Now. The Sunderland left-back's mysterious withdrawal before kick-off was the big talking point of the weekend. But David Moyes has shed more light on that this morning. Let's cross live now to Keith Downie, who was in the David Moyes news conference today. Keith.
Yes, Rob, we spoke to David Moyes in the last hour, and originally, before the news conference, I thought the topic may be off limits, but he was quite keen to talk about the issue with Patrick van Aanholt. After the match against Tottenham on Sunday, he said all he could say at that point was it was for medical reasons, and that was why Van Aanholt was withdrawn at a very late stage. He did say that later on he perhaps could go into a bit more detail, and he did today. This is what he told us about an hour ago.
Patrick van Aanholt will travel to London with us, and we'll make a decision on that a little bit later.
I know you said after the game there wasn't much you could say. You said at a point that might change. Has that point arrived yet? Yeah,
all we can say is that Pat had some standard tests with the cardiologist, and because of those tests, it meant that the FA panel had to check it, the panel of cardiologists. But incredibly, they gave me the answer back at 10 minutes to 4 before the game, when the player was out warming up. So we had to make a decision there and then on the spot. But Pat will travel today with us.
How is he? Is he okay, like mentally, given the fact that all happened sort of last minute?
Yeah, don't know if Pat's ever been right mentally, but I would say that overall, that was it. It was unforeseen, but I just find it very difficult to understand the timing. And for all the conspiracy theories out there, I could categorically say they were all incorrect.
I suppose when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I mean, when things are going against you, that's the last thing you need. A player getting pulled out with your control 10 minutes before a match starts.
Yeah, and it was completely out with our control. But it was in our control because we knew that we had to make the correct decisions for the player and for the football club, and we had to do that.
It was certainly a strange incident on Sunday, it must be said, and you can tell in David Moyes' voice that he was disappointed that he lost one of his best players just 40 minutes before the match. The FA cardiology panel, as David Moyes said there in his news conference, advised him of this issue, as he said, a standard issue within one of Patrick van Aanholt's tests that he's had at the club here over the last few weeks or months, just 40 minutes before the game, and left it to his decision whether to play the player or not. He said he had to make a decision on the spot as to whether he would play. But I suppose the most strange thing was the fact that our pictures there showed the fact that it was the player who was replacing him, Jason Downie, who alerted Patrick van Aanholt to the news, and you could see the confusion on his face. It's my understanding that Van Aanholt has had further tests here at the club since then. The results of those are yet to be known, and as Moyes said there, Van Aanholt will travel with the squad to London today for that match, that cup match against Queen's Park Rangers tomorrow night. It's still uncertain whether he will play in that game. But Patrick van Aanholt, that bit cleared up by David Moyes. Will be interesting to see whether and when he pulls on a Sunderland shirt again next.
Yeah, Keith, thank you very much indeed.